Okay, so welcome to the team call. It's going to be kind of quick today. A few things to cover. One is there is a flash sale going on with Team Forward Fitness, which we are part of that team, if you don't know that. So Brigitte is actually my coach, and therefore all of you belong to her as well. So she did all the work for us. Like, all the work is done. She even put together what the prizes are going to be. She explained how, if you have somebody that earns a prize, how you're going to take care of that. Like, she has it all really well done for us. So I haven't even put a public post up that says the flash sale is going on because I just haven't been able to get to it today. And it started 36 minutes ago or whatever. But here's the thing. Nothing's going to sell out. It's a 48-hour sale of things that are basically on sale for the whole month. But the way that we're targeting and making it fun, it's like they get extra little gift cards or little incentives, and we're showcasing kind of what is for sale for the month, but only in this 48-hour window. So it creates kind of a sense of urgency. I don't suggest you start out with, hey, these things are on sale for the month. It's more like, this is a 48-hour flash sale. Let's do this so you can talk to your people. Both Stacy and Marcy, I've seen you guys talking about it, and you've done fabulous jobs. I talked about it in my stories, but I haven't made an official post yet. But I will, because it's supposed to be flash. And people freak out when they're like, wait, this is going on right now, which is probably what all of you guys did when you saw that post I put in our team page yesterday that said, hey, Brigitte's doing a flash sale. Did you have a second where you were like, oh my gosh, what's going on right now? I got her, like that's what they're having too as you're getting your post out. So one, don't freak out. Even if you haven't made a single post about this yet, like anytime today you can still do it. It's not a big deal, and there's no work involved except for you spreading the word. And when people want to enter, you put them into the group, and then you keep track of them. So you tag it and everything. All the details are on the post that's in our team page. So read through that and hop in. It's like nothing to lose. And I'm pretty sure we're going to want to do another one in October. So this is really good experience, whether we'll do it like on our own or with Forward Fitness. Like, I love that Brigitte took care of it, and I'm all about letting other people do the work. So that's that in a nutshell. I feel like everybody on here does such a great job posting and such a great job storying. So what I wanted to talk to today about was growing our market versus just maintaining our market. So, and it's kind of like passively inviting versus actively inviting as well. So they kind of work together. So there's two things that we do. One, we are creating content, right? And we're creating great content because that's what we do. We don't put out stuff that's like mediocre. And, if you're having a hard time figuring out what to post and that kind of thing, just think about your life and post about your life, but also be willing to share your struggles or get vulnerable or your victories or, your journeys and that kind of thing. And we can talk about stuff to post, all day long. So if you're ever wondering, like, always hop in the team page and just ask, like, is this an okay post? Because we're all here to like help you out. But as we're creating this content, okay, that's kind of a maintenance. That maintains our warm market or our market that's coming right now. That is showcasing, like, that's kind of like the things on the shelf of the business, so to speak. So when people come to your page or they're following you already, they see this person adds value. They see what you're doing, okay? They might like, they might comment, they might reach out, they might do any of those things. All of that is awesome and amazing and how we want our businesses to run. And I wish all we had to do was hop on and create amazing content and people would just flood through the gates and come to us. But all of that is just basically, that's like passive, that's attraction marketing. That is like, that is just kind of maintaining your online business. Okay, so today we're talking about growing it. So obviously, before I get into the meat of growing, like, make sure when people are liking and commenting, that's them showing up at your shop saying, I like what you're doing. So make sure that those people are always getting some love back and reaching out, and you're commenting on their comments and you're doing that kind of thing because they're already there. They've already taken the time to like say hi, but they're really just bonus at this point. Because when you create a post and people like come to you, walk through the door and are like, I want you to be my coach and I'm ready to do whatever, then you need to react to that. But that's not actively bringing people into your business. That's just a bonus. That's like a boom, you know, and that is great. And someday we will all be to that point. But it's now the flip side. So now we have to also, as we're creating this content, as we're engaging with people that are there, we need to be actively bringing people to our pages and then actively inviting ourselves, like inviting behind the scenes all the other people, whether they're following already and we just haven't gotten to them, or they're brand new followers. So there is, I know Angel has talked about it. I do use something called Stem Social that does, it just takes out a step for me. So instead of me going on and being like, I really like this person's page and this is the content that I'm trying to create. So people who interact with her, I want to like them. If they're female, if they speak English, I want to start following them and see if they follow me back. So that's something I could manually go in myself and do. I could like find a page, not another Beachbody coach, but somebody who is your jam, you know, like their followers would be like your people. So it's probably somebody you would enjoy following, but they have a lot of followers. So as they're getting engagement, those are great people to start following, because when you follow them, they're going to be like, who is this person? Why do they want to follow me? They're going to come to you. They're going to see that you're like-minded, you're like them, and then they're going to follow you back, ideally. Okay. So if you're curious about Stem Social, like there's lots of YouTube. Scotty Hobbs did a really good training. That's the one. He shared one and I watched it, which I can share with you guys. So I pay for that. So that's I tell them the profiles. I tell them the people that I like, and then they go out and like follow people and unfollow people for me. But I don't think that you have to do that. And I know a lot of coaches are now shifting away from that. So it's like, I don't even know what the solution is when it comes to paying somebody to grow your market for you. I think that no matter, even if you're paying something to do it, be very, very careful, because there's a lot of scams out there. There's a lot of like crazy town things. In fact, when I first started STEM and I didn't understand it, I woke up and there was like all these men and all these, like, it was freaky. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get away from my computer and internet forever. So be really skeptical and make sure you really know like what you're getting into. But also, I don't think that you have to, I like lost where I was going with that. Like, obviously I don't think you have to pay for that, but I think what it is though, it's kind of like, this is what Shalene Johnson said a long time ago. She's like, before I pay anyone to do anything, I figure it out first. I tinker with it, I figure it out, and then I can be like, can you do this job for me? Cool, this is exactly what I want you to do. So I figured out Stem Social, and then I paid for it or whatever, and I'm still playing with that. So what I'm suggesting right now is that we figure out how to manually, all by ourselves, all by our lonesome one person, not paying anybody self, figure out how to gain followers and keep them, retain them, and then you could be like, okay, my 16-year-old needs to come in here. This is exactly what I want you to do, and go and find and get that done with me. So that's what I want to kind of like shift gears over into and talk to. So, hey, Deidre, are you joining us? I just saw your phone pop on. Okay, well, Deidre, just so you know, we're talking about how to kind of grow our market right now, both on Instagram and Facebook. So you came at just the right time. Like, we're going to start chatting about that. So let's start with Instagram, because that's where I'm at these days. So I feel more equipped on this one. But for Instagram, I think that it's actually kind of fun. This process can be kind of fun. It can just be time consuming if you're not careful. And that is to find an account that you really enjoy following, and you click with their followers. And as you're engaging on posts, and so I'm talking about kind of a big account. not little accounts. I'm talking about big accounts. And I don't even know what the number would be, but I would probably be like at least 50K. I don't know. Something like that. Like you don't want little, and you don't want Beachbody coaches. So when you're on there and you're engaging and you're checking out who else is on there, then you can just go ahead and start following them. Or you can hop onto their profile if you want. But if you even want to skip that step, this is kind of what I do. And I don't know, take it or leave it. But I will just follow. And when they follow me back or when they're watching my stories, that's when I kind of negotiate whether or not they are my niche and my kind of person. So I'm not super picky about following the first time around, because I just make sure they're women and they are not teenagers. So I just follow. And then the next day, I'm going through my stories and I can see who's engaging on my stories or watching my stories. And chances are, even if they haven't followed you back, they're still going to watch your story if you have one, because they're curious about who this person is that's following you. And that's when I go on their profile and I'm like, okay, like this person is into stuff that I'm not into. Or like this person would never drive with my team. No. Or I'd be like, this person is amazing. And that's usually when I send out a message and I'm like, oh my gosh, thanks for following. And if they're not even following, I can still say, thanks for watching my story. How the heck are you? Or whatever. And that's when you can do like the peanut butter jelly from the team call, or from the wake up call earlier, last week, whatever week that was. Okay. So that's one way. The other way, hashtags are really good. I know we've talked about this as a team, but don't let hashtags scare you. Just search something that is important to you. So I've used this example lots of times, but I used to say NICU mom or NICU, warrior or whatever, but my NICU baby's 3 now. So I was like, I'm connecting with people that are really in the thick of it, and that's fine, but I need to maybe shift it a little bit. And so now it's a NICU grad is my hashtag that I go out and search. So I know that all the pictures I'm seeing are kids that were once in the NICU like mine, and they're still using the hashtag NICU grad. So they're like, focusing on that. And then I will follow them or like and comment and follow. And the nice thing about the hashtag is you automatically see their post, versus if you're just following a bunch of people because they're also following or commenting on things. And so it's really nice to be able to like a post and click the follow button, one step, very easy. And then you move on to the next person. And if they have like a bazillion likes on their photo, I skip them because they're never going to notice my follow. Like they're too big of accounts. Does that make sense? So if they have I would say if they have over 200 likes, then I'll click on their profile and see, okay, wait, what's their purpose here on Instagram? And then I can kind of take it from there. And then I know like a lot of people shared posts get, help you as well, get people. So if you have shareable content, the only shared things I ever get or shout outs like that somebody snaps and posts in their stories is the quotes that I use. And you should know that I say that because I'm like really picky about the quotes that I use. Like I only pick shareable quotes, like quotes that make me stop and laugh or make me stop and go, I'm going to screenshot that so I have that in my life someday, So those are the quotes that I share. You can share other quotes. I'm just telling you if you want shareable content. Or if you do something hilarious, but I've never had any of my hilariousness shared. So, whatever. I feel like that's it for Instagram. Am I missing something? Anybody? No? Okay. So let's shift over to Facebook. Facebook's actually not too bad. So the benefit of Instagram versus Facebook when it comes to adding a bunch of people at once is that's just the name of the game on Instagram. People follow random people all the time, and it's not weird. It's not like, wait, who's our mutual friends? Or how do we know each other? Or occasionally I get a message on Instagram that's like, wait, why did you friend request me? And I'm like, oh, I just thought you looked cool, whatever. And that's it. But Facebook's a little bit more, it's a little bit harder. Like, I don't really friend request people on Facebook unless I do have a bunch of mutual friends with them, because people on Facebook are a lot less likely to accept a friend request versus an Instagram follow. Hopefully that makes sense. So growing your market on Facebook does look different. But I do think people share things on Facebook more, so shareable posts are good. The other thing is I definitely go into my friends list, and I go into my recent friends that I've added, and I click on them and their friends, and then there's always a tab that says people you may know, friends you may know, or something like that. And you can click on that, and then you automatically see who you have in common with that person that you're now friends with. And so you can kind of go through their friends and be like, oh, we have 5 mutual friends? Yeah, we're going to click. Oh, we have 6 mutual friends? We're going to click. Maybe even down to 3 mutual friends, but you do have to be kind of careful. And Facebook's a little bit more flaggish than Instagram, so you don't want to do too many at once. And I have no idea what the number is, because you guys, I've actually never been flagged. I don't know if that means I just don't grow my network fast enough or what, but I don't have a specific number for that. When I'm growing on Facebook, the best thing that has served me for my market is Facebook groups. So I'm part of a Henderson mom group. I'm part of a Las Vegas baby carrying group. Friends with, in part of a group of a knitting group, so it is something that you're interested, that's already going to add a tremendous amount of value to you. It doesn't even matter how big or how small it is. I think mommy groups, if you're a mom, like finding a mommy group that you jive with, that's automatically almost a warm market. And the way, I don't just join a group and then go into its members and start adding all of them. Sorry, I don't know how to turn my notifications off on my chiming. So if you keep hearing chiming, let me see if I can just quit. It's my flume. I hope you guys all have flume. Whoa. Okay, sorry. I quit it and it needs to go away. Oh my gosh. But really, it's like, oh, you're giving me attention. Let me show you all these notifications. Okay. So when I am in a group, I will make some sort of post, like if it's a mama group, a value post, or I'll just be like, what the heck, do you guys get scorpions too? Because if it's like a local one or something that you're already going to want help with, and anybody who comments or likes on that, I'm going to friend request them. And then in a lot of mommy groups that are location specific, when a new mom moves in, she introduces herself into the group, and you automatically friend request her, and you can even send her a private message like, awesome that you're moving here. These are my kids' ages and where they go to school, and things like that. So you just engage in the group. Don't go in and just, don't be salesy at all. Don't even talk about your business at all. That's just how I have added friends who see my posts on Facebook. And anyway, I hope that makes sense. Any other ways on Facebook? You don't really use hashtags on Facebook or anything. I think that's it as far as bringing them in. Does anyone have anything else to add? Do you, Stacy?
Yeah. So I listened to a training that Ashley McClellan did that she just recently hit 5-star elite. She's in this paid group I'm doing, and she just makes it really simple on Facebook too, where she'll go find like who she thinks is her rock star coach, like someone like on Instagram, someone who has a really big account, and then she just like goes through their friends list, and if they look like someone she would want to be friends with, she just adds them, and she does like 15 to 20 a day just to like get it done. Just super simple.
And she does that on Instagram. She does that
on Facebook.
Oh, on Facebook.
On Instagram, she uses 21 Social, so she has that paid for. But
oh yeah, I've heard about that one too. That's what a lot of people are leaving the other one for, is the 21 Social.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I like that idea a lot. That's and I also like the idea of, if you sit down with a purpose, like who would my rockstar coach be? I think it helps you like zone in on your people, and you can sift relatively fast. Like you should be able to do 20 names, you know, in a short amount of time. So there's that. And then just make sure once they are friends with you that you are engaging with them, or else they're just lost. They're like, so you cared about me, but you don't care about me, you know? And then, so then that kind of full circles back to what I was saying earlier, how where you show up, you make your posts, you talk to the people who are responding to your posts, and that's how you're maintaining. And then we're actively growing by doing the things that we just discussed, and then you're also actively inviting. And that can be like the PB&J that they talked about, and Brigitte made a really good post about it. I'm going to find that and put it in our team page as well. But where you're just like, thank you for the follow. So you start with that. You talk about something about them. You invite them. And then maybe I'm messing up the steps wrong, but and you followed up with like, no worries if you don't want to. I hope we can still be friends. I just had to ask or whatever. So I did actually edit my invites. I used to not have that part. So I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have that part. It takes the pressure off of them, and they're more likely to respond if they weren't normally going to. Definitely chime in anytime you guys want to. And then, did you have something, Stace? I always feel like your hands are moving towards
me. Sorry.
No.
Just another thing that really struck me from this training that I'm doing is they said in this training that your followers, you have like a 6-month window with anyone you add to your network. So you have like 6 months of them watching your posts before they either unfollow you or they just, are kind of done with whatever you're posting about. And this includes friends and family. And for the longest time, like I wasn't consistently adding to my network because I thought, oh, I have like 1,000 people on my Facebook page. But if you look at it as you have 6 months to really get them excited and engaged with you, then like you have to go out and get more people. So you have to constantly be adding more people so that you have more than just 6 months of life on your page.
I love that. And that is so true. And that's why, like, there is such power in adding people. And when you have the same eyes on you the whole time, your business becomes kind of stagnant because you're like, I've already shared this message. And sometimes when I am writing a post, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're probably so tired of hearing this part of my story or this piece of whatever. And then I stop and I'm like, wait, but did I add more people, and are new eyes going to see this post? And that should be kind of like the name of the game. Like, you want to keep your current people, but you're also like, no, this is like, I'm giving you the meat and the best. And you can kind of, there's a skill involved of not sounding the same all the time, but in theory, you should be able to cycle your posts even, over time, because you should have brand new eyes all the time. So, and when you're talking to brand new people and just engaging, it shifts your energy. And so if I'm like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to invite, I don't want to do whatever, I don't have any value, whatever. Sometimes just by engaging for just a hot second and like talking about the weather, like most of the time, my engagement with them is, thanks for the follow, like, how you doing? And they respond, and they usually say, how are you? I'm like, fine, I'm just trying to get over this Vegas summer, and that's it. And like, I've had so many conversations about the weather. One, it's awesome because I can copy and paste my responses, but still tailor them to that person. So it cuts down a lot on responding. But the point is that it makes me feel like, okay, wait, I'm making friends. Okay, wait, people want to talk to you. And then that energy, like, it just propels you forward. Like, it gives you the momentum. So.
And two, it like totally helps with inviting, because when I invite off of people who like and comment on my posts, and when I have the same people liking every post, it's like, who do I invite? But when you're adding to your network and you have new people, then it's like, oh yes, I have people to talk to. It's not like the same 5 people.
Yeah. Oh no, totally. And that way, because sometimes you sit down and you're like, I know I need to invite 5 people, but I don't have 5 people to invite. And that was my problem. You guys, there was like 2 years when I was a coach where I was like, I just don't know who to invite. Like, I've already invited everybody. I've already bubbled. And it's like, well, that's why you add people the month before. That's why you're actively adding people so that, whatever. Also, I'm just going to say, like, I put a lot of work into my stories and a lot of work into my posts. And the other day I was thinking about it. I'm like, I sure do a lot of work for like the 200 people that watch my stories. Like, it's time to like increase that number, because we're adding it. We really are like giving a lot of value. So it's almost like I'm not doing myself or the people that should hear this message any favor by not going out there and trying to make friends. So, there's that too. That was just something I've been thinking about the last few days. I'm like, I really need to shift over and try to build my following a little bit more, because we're putting in all this time to making good content. So, all right. Are there any questions? I think I'm just going to close with that unless there's questions. Let me go ahead and stop the recording.